Get this show on the road. Check out this rain. Boom, baby. Boom. That's some motherfucking rain right here, player. I mean, who ordered the water extra water? I mean, I can almost see extra water on top of extra water this morning. I don't know if you can see the hash marks here of just rain just sliding through everything. My God in heaven. Sometimes you pray for rain and that bitch gives it to you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, bitches be raining on a motherfucker. I'm in this bitch in my motherfucking underwear and shit, looking ass fucking trying to chill in the warmth. And it was just like, will you let me work out? I got my workout clothes ready to go. I'm sitting here going, should I go outside and do the morning motivation in the rain? I'm glad I did the workout yesterday. I'm feeling really strong, really fit. Your boy's saying finally got his kit. I don't even know what to call this thing. This little stand that I got that I had from before I left it here in Finland. And luckily, it's still here. But let's show off the flex, shall we? Your boy got a bit of abs going, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like tight. I feel like ready for a fight. You know what I'm saying? These are them rainy days. I'm just going to flex on hoes just all day long. I feel really svelte and nice. I stayed on the diet. This has been how many months? It's like out to here. How many months have I been participating in being in Finland and being in this situation and fucking doing the fucking damn thing? Let me roll a bong rip real quick and get this day started because rainy days, they be happening, bruh. Rainy days, they be happening, bruh. And it's just like rainy, dark, and I can see how the mind starts getting depressed. You know, I can see how the ideas of conquest become less. You know, when you sit in the dark, it kind of fucks with your mind. And unfortunately, that's what's happening today. It's like it's starting to fuck with my mind. I came back to Finland. I was supposed to go on to Thailand. I was actually supposed to stay longer in Spain, but my buddy had things to do, and I was lucky to have the time that I had there. It's just going from place to place, living lifestyle to different lifestyle, let me see, I'm trying to line it. My OCD's kicking in with the top of this ceiling here. There we go. Uh being able to identify that you have OCDs, being able to identify depression, being able to identify the difference between real depression and what do they call this? Seasonal depression. You know, when the weather changes for the season, it can fuck with your head, and definitely it's trying to fuck with my head right now. It's a little bit of dread, but I'm getting the show on the road. Your boy Saints making it happen, Captain. That's how we do it over here in the Vanta area in Finland. In my own head, it's almost time to eat breakfast, so I got to do morning motivation, breakfast, and gym somehow. We were supposed to go. My friends were like, I want to go with you. I feel so fucking strong right now, bro. I can feel it in my bones, joints. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It just feels good in my ligaments and in my muscles and in my body this morning. I feel tight, taut, feel taut like a tiger, taut like a tiger. And that's what we're doing here in Finland. We're keeping it tight like a tiger. I went to the smoke shop yesterday, and the dude actually tried to buy the thing off me, like a individual retail sale in the smoke shop. Like, I got €4. Let me get that Tyson blunt wrap off you, bro. And I'm like, nah, man, this is motherfucking for samples, bro. Why don't you buy a pallet off me, dog? Let's go. So I live in this world, running around this little globe with different people and different patterns and different motherfucking, weather. It started in fucking Spain. This shit was crazy, but it's all over Europe. Wherever you go, there you are. But that's what it is sometimes. Sometimes it is rainy days, and you're going to have to accept the flow of rain. And I think that's something that I've been really working on is like, not all days are sunshiny days. I feel good. My energy's up because my body is tight and my mind is right. But, when you're in an environment where you constantly reinforce yourself with negativity, or all you can see is what's not working in your life, this is where this thing takes place. This is where these rainy days take place in our minds and in our souls. And there's something that we got to do for our soulful, soul food, for our brains and our souls and our minds and our spirit, to be able to keep ourselves fresh. That's what I think when I see the rain right now, because I feel fresh. If there was a different yeah, you can just take a scissors and just kind of pulverize it and smash it up. I wish I had my whack it grinder here, but here we are, right? So anyway, to be able to see, right, realizing that, the weather tends to be that thing, whether I'm in London or if I'm in Spain or any of these things, the way it is in my mind, the way I start treating situations is the way it's going to be. And that's something that we got to really high key, about to hit this high key alert, is really key in on what we are transmuting to ourselves. It's like the environment, the thoughts, the mentality. There's a lot of things that add up to this thing called our lives. And I think I'm gonna smoke this whole bowl. Or maybe I'll save a little bit. Yeah, I'll save a little bit. So next rip. Mine a ripper. Let's see which one works. This one is cool. Bong rips. Bless up. Blaze one for the nation. First bong rip of the day. On a motherfucking rainy ass day. Whew. Whew. That's Saints addiction right there. Rippers. Let's rip it. What happened? What the fuck? Neither wants the light? No way. It's still going. Boom, baby, boom. All right. Whew. Now let's do some morning motivation. I've suffered from some depression my whole life. I don't want to be in this room all day. And that rain kind of forces me in. I noticed that about Finland. I noticed that people aren't making eye contact. They live in their homes. I talked with the guy in Spain, and he's like, we don't use our homes for that. The guy was explaining, when we go home, we are literally going there to shit, shower, and shave. They were going to the cannabis club so they can be social. Now, it's something Finland badly needs. They need other social outlets, more than a bar. It becomes a cigarette culture because you get bored. You get, it's a beer culture, it's a drinking culture, because how else are you going to numb the human brain? How else are you going to, the things that make you feel human is being part of nature. And they have amazing nature here. As you can see, it's trees and beautiful. It's beautiful here in Finland. And yet, to stay in your home, to stay in your mind, it treats you differently. The psychosis of the people here, it's hard on the human beings. They know that they have a luscious life here, but they also have to tolerate their environment. And in Spain, it was more beautiful to go outside, and with the trees and the architecture, and to just walk around, gave them a healthier life. They were like, you need to go to the beach, bro. Like, I was in a beach city, and I was like feeling some very Venice Beach vibes, like California vibes, where people closer to the water tend to be more free, and they tend to free themselves from mental slavery. It's like a healing process. I keep going into this nature, and it keeps healing me, and that's what this whole journey has been about. So yes, I've had many a rainy days in my head. Yes, today is a rainy day in my head, and I wanted to go to the gym again, but I'm sore from yesterday. But anyway, maybe I'll go swimming today. That's what I'll do. I'll go. They got a indoor swimming thing, so maybe I'll just put on the old raincoat. I think I'm developing my day today, and to come up with ways to alleviate the pain or get away from. There we go. Look at this. This OCD right here. That's so crazy. Anyway, I'm looking at this line above my head in the ceiling and lining it with the camera. So fucking funny. But the development of the day to be able to say, hey, this is what I want to do with my day. And then all of a sudden the weather would be like, yeah, you might want to change your plans is a new thing for me. In Vegas, it's just always so hot and sunny. That just means bring more water. I'm always bringing my water. Shout out to Aquarius, all the Aquarius in my life who fucking won these bitches. Be all up in my head. They're everywhere. And you need to bring water with you to go outside into the sun and to go see outsideness, fresh air and people walking and walking dogs or just life in general, being around us. This is the kind of social structure that you choose. I've been going 7 countries in 5 months or 4 months or whatever it's been, to be able to see how people acclimate to their environment. It's such a self-determiner. I remember distinctly being in London, and it's like, fuck off, on a rainy day. And then all of a sudden the sun shines upon you and you're just like, oh yes, hi, how are you? Top of the morning to you. Like the attitude of the people on the streets was definitely distinctly different because of the weather. And I wanted to talk about the weather of our minds. You can see people that have a storm between their ears. You can see people that have like smoke coming out, that their CPU is their computer processing unit is going too much too soon, or doing too much too often, and just overloaded and over processed with data. And I was reading something earlier today where they were saying that AI was choking on its own fumes, like it was processing all the data on the internet and then chewing out more data, and that became more data that they had to chew on. Human mind. I mean, welcome to it, AI. Welcome to the human mind, where you have to sit there and say in your mind like how you process these things. And last night I was at the bar with the homies, sitting outside in the terrace, and they were going on. The girl turns and goes, we're just all talking about our exes. And it doesn't matter if I'm in Texas or in Finland, people talk about their exes. This is something that I distinctly notice about the world. And I definitely remember last time about Finland is people are the same. Wherever you go, there you are. But people are the same. People are going to talk about their exes. They're going to talk about their bills. They're going to talk about their problems. We have human psychoses that are universal. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, this just only happens in Finland. This just only happens in London. No, dude. Like people are constantly. It could be a park in Germany to a park in Finland. These motherfuckers are talking a park in Turkey. When I was in the Turkish park, what are you guys talking about? Talking about a girl, talking about a boy, talking about a life, talking about relationships. And I just think about all the eras, right? I went to the Gaudi Museum, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, that last day I was there, and it was raining. Again, another rainy day. It wasn't as bad as this, but it was raining. And to see the history, right? This dude started this over 100 years ago. Gaudi was an architect way before his time, but 1905. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking over 120 years ago, right? And to see people getting in these little slides, they made these like wooden slides that went through the water and actually made a wave. And these people are in fucking fine, what's the thing called? Victorian era clothing. And I'm like, holy shit, that's where I was. I didn't do the slide thing, but all the places that they're at and just walking around looking at things in full fucking garb, right? Like the long sleeves and the whole hoop skirts, and you're just like, Jesus Lord. But there they were, people before us, our great grandmothers and grandfathers, great, walking around, wearing shoes, taking on the day, walking the dog, the same shit. It just kind of just shocked me, and I'm like, I'm wondering if they were talking about their exes. I sure as hell think they are. Like in my mind right now, I'm thinking they're talking about the same things we're talking about. And as often as they could, I see little old ladies sitting at the park bench. They're talking about, probably their grandchildren or what's going on with the economy or life in general. And that's us. We're so human. I'm so human. I'm so Thai. I'm so Vegas. I got all these I'm so, shirts to make. I'm so Finland. I'm so Vanta. These kind of, cities on shirts. But to be able to see people from over 100 years ago literally walking around the same place I am. I'm just like, no fucking way this thing's that old. Like I didn't understand how old it was, but there it was in front of me, especially the La Sagrada Familia, the sacred family. That church has been still under construction. It's like almost finished, but it might take another 20 years. I don't know. They just throw out years on this thing. It's so artistic, it's so ornate, and just like our minds, we have years to live in this brain, and to assume the centuries of human evolution, and still the things that become core, even in the 21st century, the most technically advanced humans have ever been. We use communication to still talk about our exes, talk about our finances, talk about our bills, and talk about life. We need each other to vibe off of. We need each other for love. We need each other for birth, and we need each other for healing. It said heal people, and that's what we do. We literally start chasing our dopamines, our serotonins, what's the other one? I keep forgetting. I did it yesterday. I forgot it. When you work out, you get a lot of endorphins. These are chemicals that we seek and we don't even know it. So one of the ways that we seek it is this motherfucker's trying to fucking send me messages. One of the ways that we seek it and we don't even know it could be getting up to get coffee, could get up to masturbate. It could be to get up and smoke a cigarette. I've seen all three things, and we don't know it, right? One of the things, especially like oxytocin, to feel closer to people, right? And we're talking about getting social here. That's what we do. We call that friend. And we start to mend, and we start to heal with all the subjects that come to mind. I know for facts that especially in my darker days, I would reach out and do a lot of FaceTimes. And that's how I use the 21st century technology to get closer to people. And I'm working on my dating app as well. I think I got the name, by the way. Fucking hit it right out of the park, but that's Mark Marketing. But to be able to bind with our fellow human beings and touch base with them makes our heads leave our brains, right? Like literally we're on whatever blah, 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 mass data, we're pumping through our CPUs and we're in our heads. Ding, all of a sudden the vibe has to change. We don't know what the conversation's going to bring. We don't know how we're going to feel, but we know we don't feel in this wavelength. We've done change wavelengths, or we combined wavelengths with that other person and started to vibe, as we say in the 60s, right? As we started to vibe, maybe even click, or fall in love. There's all sorts of human elements here, human not even molecules, they're human hormones that literally make us feel differently, start to get us the tingles and the feels in a different location than the one that we are currently feeling. And it's a very blessed feeling. It's a very subtle feeling. It's not like something that you call someone up and go, hey, let me get some of your serotonin. No one really says that, but that's what's happening. You're like, yo, new wavelength. And there's always that person that you call that gives you a certain wavelength, or maybe you need a foot up the ass wavelength, or maybe you need the gentle approach, or maybe you need someone to tell you, hey, beautiful, good morning. You get a wavelength and you plug into that, especially if like if you're in a relationship, you're always with that first morning call, or the first morning kiss, and being in bed with someone and having morning sex, or human touch, and how touch starved we are in the 21st century, and how much all this connection is, but it's not connecting us. Is hence why I'm working on that dating app, to actually connect people and not have them like two ships in the night just fucking going past each other, but getting on the same boat. And that's something that we as people, right, seek without knowing. It's almost like going to the refrigerator. What was the one thing we all do is go back into the refrigerator 5 minutes later and look in the refrigerator again, as if something's changed. I don't think it's as if something's changed. I think I go back in the refrigerator trying to make something new. You're still hungry, so you got to go back in there and fix the topic through this portal, this device called a refrigerator. Welcome to a Finnish kitchen. If you've never seen one, this is what Finland's setup looks like. Very cool, sleek, modern, European Finland style. But yeah, going back and to seek for different foods to eat, or to fix the topic, we're seeking each other that way. I stayed out in the sunshine yesterday. I'm so grateful that I did. It was orbiting because we're so close to the sun here up in Finland that that rainbows were forming a circle around the sun, like the oculus, I think it is, because here's the sun, and the refraction off the hemisphere had a little bit of a rainbow. I took a photo, had to. I was just like, I've seen a whole one at like in Minnesota and shit, like a whole ring around the sun. Like the further north you get to see the planets differently. And I'm just saying, weather makes us feel differently. Talking to each other makes us feel differently. That connection into nature and other people in touch is now the most valuable thing. So we can go get Nikes all we want, but does it kiss us on the cheek and say good morning? Do you get what I'm saying right now? Does it answer the phone when you're at your worst, and makes you feel better? You get what I'm saying now? They used to have, when I was a kid, they used to have I don't want to call it the Make a Wish Foundation. It used to call a 1-800 number, call Cleo or something kind of that, for the zodiacs. And I think it's less about the zodiacs and it's more than talking to another human. I mean, they literally got girls in Japan, cute little girls, hiring boys to pretend to be their boyfriend. When we look at other people and we walk by and you see people holding hands, so a lot of hand holding in Spain and Turkey is like that human connection to say, hey, this person belongs to me. They're supposed to be touching me. I trust them the way that they walk, and I walk right behind them. And I see that with man and woman. And especially to yesterday when I was at the workout gym and the girl showed up and was like interrupting the dude's workout, I kind of confront her. I'm like, why aren't you working out? And she kind of hid like a daughter would behind a father. And I didn't even see her whole body. Like, she hid behind another human being. I was like shocked by this. I was like, okay. Uh, um, she was like, he said for her that she doesn't speak English, but he's like, good question. Why aren't you working out? Like, bitch, I'm the only one that got to do sit ups up in this bitch. But that kind of hiding body language, scared, I mean, the chick was almost like got to be 20 years old. They weren't kids anymore. That was something a 5-year-old girl would do to hide behind her dad, not a 20-year-old woman. So we seek shelter from each other. Women, when shit gets static, they kind of throw their man ahead, or when they're walking really fast, take the lane so I can get there too. You're bigger than me, so you make a good choo-choo train. You make the good locomotive, the leader of these things. And I watch these things, that women, especially older women, are safer with younger children. Nobody fucks with those people, so every time they're with their grandma, they almost become like a security guard. Groups of boys with a lot of energy, and how reckless they can be, being in they starting to get a hold of their strength, but they don't have a hold of their minds. And how young girls are in the same wavelength. I remember them walking down the street and just laughing in a group, and I'm like, yeah, laugh it up, bitch, because you don't have to pay bills. You're almost 16, 17 maybe, and this little group of preteens, or pre-adults, were just laughing their asses off. They were beautiful, they were free, they had their clothes. And I was like, till you got to get a job, right? Till you got to actually go put up for yourself. And then I saw a British woman, and I had this conversation last night at the bar, and the girl was like, you kind of took it personal. And the question was, and I saw this from Psych Hacks, was he said, would you treat your man the same way you would treat your boss? For instance, do you roll your eyes at your boss? How long will you keep your job if you're always saying something sarcastic back? Why don't you take out the trash? It's just so funny that women are, and I had to explain this to her, that women are not domesticated, but not docile either. It's they're more submissive to a boss because they know it's tied to their wealth, than submissive to their husbands or boyfriends because that's not tied to their wealth. So we literally changed the way what we chase. If we're all chasing the bag, then we're not chasing love. If it's all about cash, then we don't care about the love. And then we bring our A game to this job because it keeps paying our bills. But the things that fulfill us, the touching, the love, the reinforcement, the listening, we treat these people with rolled eyes and sarcastic responses. And it was just like, who do you bow down to? I guess, what God do you believe in, and what shrine do you pray at, right? So if you pray for the money and you live in this world and you're like, yes sir, sorry I was late sir, you're my boss and you tell me what to do. And the girl actually said that, young girl, they were running around, all these crazy kids, with purple baggy pants and patches on them. I thought they were a girl band, but there were groups of them for the university. They were getting initiated into the university here in Finland. And I sat with them and asked her, she was like, what are you going to do with your marketing degree? Take on more student loans so she can live. Even though college is free, university is free here in Finland, you still got to pay for food. So she's like 22,000 euros in debt from jump. Take some time off, probably be 50,000 euros in debt by the time she takes the time off and finishes her master's degree. And she's like, I don't want to be the boss. She didn't have any entrepreneurial bone in her body. She's like, I don't want to be the boss. I want someone to tell me what to do and give me money. And she actually said it that way. And I was just shocked, bro. Like, perfect English, educated, didn't skip a beat, and said, I want someone to tell me what to do. And it's like, there it is. You're a submissive person for this boss, this job that could fire you any moment, doesn't even care about you. And the people that do care about you, the one that loves you and makes love to you, gets the eye rolling and the back talk and the bullshit. And you can't pull that bullshit at your job, but you'll pull it on your lover. We are weird like that, y'all. We are weird like that. We are weird the amount of behavior we have in a church than we do in a grocery store. The vibe is different on a subway, the different in a park. That person that you bring to the park or to the subway or to the relationship or to the job is just different. And it's not even, it's changing like the weather. And the girl's like, I just wish I was a man one day so I didn't have all these hormonal changes, she said. But what she answers like, you don't know what I'm like at work. She kind of got defensive, touched herself, you don't know what I'm like at work, and wanted to set it straight. And I was like, by the attitude, right, the boisterousness, this aggressiveness, that she didn't see that she had big ovaries. She had some big old balls on her, dude. And she had to learn at work, because she works with mostly men, that she had to be mannish to get around. And I asked what happened to her 6-year relationship where she was engaged, and they were all talking about their exes. So they told me this information openly, but for her to have to go to a psychologist and really put in some work, and then just broke up with another boyfriend that right before, she was just cutting them off. She was just like, no more. I've seen this pattern before. I'm cutting off my patterns. And I was like, yeah. Did you see how you were involved with it? Just curious, you know what I mean? You're partaking in it. Like me, I'm trying to save my mom, a single mom, with kids. I'm trying to save the day, and did that with my ex. Why am I chasing narcissistic women? Because my mom's narcissistic. Why would I chase a bigger breasted woman? Because my mom's a bigger breasted woman. Like, all my aunts are chesty. Even my cousin is. It's just like something I have to identify in my mind. Right? Like, I got to see what kind of weather is up here. Like, what kind of weather am I tracking? Where's my Doppler radar? Am I trying to date and fix my past, or am I trying to date and seek my future? And that's just all it was. A lot of us, we're going to psychologists, and we're talking about our exes, and we're talking about our past, usually with our friends. And that's probably the most conversations that go as they track the internet. And when the DOJ and the FBI and the CIA are tracking all these phone calls and conversations, and even what I'm saying now, that's what people are talking about. I mean, they're looking for words like bomb or kill president. You know what I mean? They want to put those things together. But for most of us, we're just talking about bitching about our past, our relationships, and our bills. And that's like legit human shit around the world. No joke. Doesn't matter if I'm in Spain, Turkey, or Finland, motherfucking London. Looking ass motherfuckers are talking about this and thinking this way, and these are our subjects of our times and our lives. And I think even into the future, we're always going to talk about our relationships, and hopefully more than the weather. And that's your morning motivation. So make sure that you check your weather, not just on your app or outside, but in your brain. It's like so important. And check the way you're filtering things. If you keep bringing up a subject in conversation, then you know that's the topmost thing on your mind. Then start to identify that. I know for sure people keep bringing up the things that they want to talk about when they're talking to me, and I'm like, oh shit, that's where their head's at. Their head's leaning towards relaxation, or their head's leaning towards business, or they have something interpersonal that they're going through. This is how I read it. This is my morning motivation out there. I'm gonna go flex on my day because I feel tight like a tiger, and I feel really good. And almost time for me to break fast, and at 3 p.m. and I got like I think another hour to go, and then I can eat again. So that's what it took me for me to lose the weight and get my mind straight. And no matter what the weather brings, you always got to have to battle up here. Mental health matters, and that's Saints Addiction. Oh, my heart from the start, your boy, tight like a tiger, Tony Tiger. Peace and love, and as always, Gigathon. I'm here in Finland. This is day 2. And I had to find a way to work out. You know what I mean? Get out of this house and get my mind right too. Peace. I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching. Ciao.